Hello zusammen, ich bin Jansen from Pixelhue.
Всем привет! Меня зовут Егор.
皆さんこんにちは。Pixelhueのコと申します。
Bonjour à tous, je suis Pierre-Yves, je suis formateur Pixelhue en France.
Ciao, sono Virgilio da Pixelhue.
Hello, my name is Ifan.
Bienvenidos a Pixelhue y hoy me encuentro en la Feria ASI 2025 en Barcelona.
Nous sommes ravis de vous présenter la version Pixelhue en 1.6.
We have the biggest updating of our solutions and our the functions.
В процессор Pixelhue P20 мы уже добавили Dante-карту.
Y además, el P-Series tiene dos modos GABAs.
Con 4 HDMI, 4 DisplayPort e 8 SFP output.
多層のオーディオ管理機能がここから Pixelhue の製品で可能です。以上はすべての新製品、そしてアプリ等の情報です。
You can contact us immediately or you can go to our website to find more information of the products. Thank you.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Bis nächstes Mal.
Merci pour votre soutien, à bientôt.
Grazie mille per tutti i clienti.
以上、ありがとうございます。
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today as we unveil Pixelhue version 1.6, a major update designed to elevate your video processing experience to new heights. In this release, we focused on enhancing usability, expanding functionality, and improving overall performance. Version 1.6 introduces a host of new features that empower you to configure, monitor, and optimize your workflows with greater flexibility and precision. Today, I'll be walking you through a live demonstration of key features. This presentation contains 4 parts. The first one is the new feature of Q8. The second one is the new feature of P20 and P20-DS. The third one is the new feature of U5 and U5 Pro. And the last one is the software optimization. We'll explore how the new interface improvements can streamline your operations and show you firsthand how version 1.6 delivers increased performance and adaptability. I'll be elaborating on each new feature in 4 aspects: introduction, application scenarios, live demonstration, and important notes. Thank you for all your continued support and enthusiasm for Pixelhue. Now let's dive into the demonstration and see what the future of video processing looks like with Pixelhue 1.6. First, let's talk about the Q8. First, let's address a common concern from our users. Many have expressed a preference for a DP output interface over the SDI interface. To meet this demand, we've released a new output card for the Q8. This card includes 4 DP 1.2 ports, 4 HDMI 2.0 ports, and 8 optical interfaces, providing greater flexibility for different output needs. You can achieve 10-bit RGB 444 output on the DP interfaces, which offers greater color rendering than HDMI 2.0. Now, let's take a look at the actual photos of the card. Please note, HDMI DP10G SFP interfaces are grouped together, meaning they output the same signal simultaneously. Bit depth for DP is 10-bit, while for HDMI is 8-bit. The system supports 4 4K outputs in total and includes support for 3D functionality and in-band mosaic. Next, we are excited to announce that the Q8 now supports 3D signal processing. Our switcher is capable of converting 2D signals into 3D signals in the format of Shader 3D. If you are managing multiple outputs in a system and working with 3D signals, you will need a device that can handle multiple inputs and outputs while supporting 3D. That's where our switcher comes in handy. Now let's give you a live demonstration of this feature. To enable this feature, click on Input Interface, scroll down to the bottom. Here you will see a video source format option. Default is auto, but you can switch it manually to match your input 2D signal format. Let's say if we have a side-by-side format here. So we can click on this and change it to side-by-side. Then we go to the screen menu, we build a screen, click on the screen settings. Please remember to set the output rate to be frame rate to be 120 Hz for optimal result. And then we click on this advanced menu. Here you will see a 3D option. We turn it on. And this eye priority settings is based on your 3D glasses. You can switch it to either right or left. Once this is done, you will see a 3D mark here on the screen menu, on the screen tab here. This means you have your 3D feature on. Functionality, but in-band 3D is only available on DP. Also, remember to set the output frame rate to 120 Hz for optimal results. We've also improved the input source backup functionality based on client feedback. Previously, many users found it difficult to locate these settings and couldn't configure their preferred primary source or auto-switch settings separately. To enhance the user experience, we moved the input source backup to a dedicated tab. It now supports multiple backups for a single input source, including backup for input crops. The basic features remain the same, but we've added a new option for Q8, input source crops. Now, if you have multiple crops from one input source and want to set a backup for all of them, you can use the crop auto backup feature, which automates the entire process. Additionally, you are no longer restricted to using only the primary source. You can freely switch between layers or backup source by going to the Device tab and selecting Input Backup. However, we recommend turning off the primary source preferred option, as you want to make sure there is no problem with the primary source. Previously, the customers expressed concerns that using input source A to backup B was not secure enough. Now, we've added an extra layer of backup to ensure content security. Now, let me give you a live demonstration of this feature. To enable the input source backup feature, go to the Device menu. As you can see, we have moved this input backup settings to a dedicated tab here. We want to turn this backup status on and add a backup relationship. If I want to do input 1.2 to backup for input 1.1, I can do this. I think it's not secure enough. I want another backup for the input 1.2. I can also do it now. This is like a double backup for the input 1.1. And I can set the primary source preferred or auto switch individually, just like this. And we have added a new feature for Q8. If you have multiple crops for one input and multiple crops for another input, and you want to set up backup relationship for all of them, instead of doing them one by one, you can just use this crop auto backup feature. It will automatically set up all the backup relationships for you. Please note, the resource usage of the backup source is consistent with that of the primary source, ensuring there will be no resource overload. We also recommend turning off the primary source preferred option to ensure that the primary source remains fixed and stable. I know many of you have been asking about the Dante feature, and I'm excited to share some great news. After a long wait, the Q8 now fully supports Dante with 64x64 channels, which can be configured using our Pixelhue software. Plus, the 3.5mm audio jack is now functional after this update. Imagine managing multiple audio inputs and outputs. Previously, you need a lot of cables, but with the Dante feature, you only need one cable for all that. Audio and video segmentation with output audio routed to the audio console. HDMI, DP, Dente all support 3-port audio output capabilities. You will have 8 long-way audio channels. Now, let me give you a live demonstration of this feature. Go to the device menu. As you can see, we can now click on the Dente interfaces now. The top one will be the primary, and the bottom one will be the backup. In the Dente properties, you can see the basic information of Dente. And this one is the R axon, this one is the T axon. You can easily monitor the status of every channels here. Then, if you want to set up the reflection for the audio matrix, you can go to the newly added audio matrix tab here. This menu, you can use this key to expand them and use this key to collapse them. These are the inputs and these are the outputs. And for Dente, there are totally 64 channels, which are grouped by 8. The way how you set up the reflection is just clicking on the desired box, like this. You can also drag it. For the interface selection limitation, use both interfaces from one group in a main backup relationship, even mix different signal types to build a combined screen. This significantly saves time and eliminates signal type concerns. Let me give you a live demonstration of this feature. To check out the connectors group, you can click on the output interface. As you can see, the blue aura indicates those interfaces belonging to one group. You can see it here. And then we go to the screen menu. We build a screen. You can see both HDMI 2.0 and DP 1.2 are available for this screen. And if we add another screen that has 12G SDI signal, you can see it is also available. But please note that the SDI only supports several formats. And if you change it to one that it doesn't support, a warning will be shown here. And if you apply it, the 12G SDI will be grayed out, indicating that it is not available under this format. Another exciting update is that the Q8 now supports our EP series fiber extender. The receiver can connect directly to the optical fiber ports of the Pixelhue video processing devices without the need for a transmitter. One of my colleagues will introduce the details of this product later. Finally, we've added an anti-static feature to the Q8. Static can cause instability, especially in dry weather conditions like winter. With this feature enabled, you won't need to worry about static-related issues. You can activate it directly from the Q8 front panel. Now, let me show you how to do this. To enable anti-static feature, go to the Q8 front panel, Settings, Advanced, and here you will see an anti-static tab. Turn this on, and you can set the duration of this feature. Alright, those are all the amazing new features of Q8. Now, let's move on to the P20. We are introducing a new subcard called P20-DS, which comes with some notable upgrades. It includes Dente interfaces, removes SDI loop-out interfaces, and adds SDI output interfaces. You can purchase it separately or replace your existing card if you prefer this upgrade. Now let's take a look at the actual photos of this card. The Dente feature on the P20 is similar to the Q8, but supports 32RX and 32TX channels. It includes 2 groups of 3.5mm audio jacks, and they all become functional after this update. However, please note that all along-way audio channels are limited to 2 channels. Let me give you a live demonstration of this feature. The Dante feature on P20-DS is similar to Q8. You can click on this Dante interface here to check out the basic information for Dante, the RXN and TXN. But please note there are only 32 channels for P20-DS Dante. And we can also go to this audio matrix menu here to set up all the configurations. You can see the Dante is 32 channels grouped by 2. And also P20-DS has two 3.5mm audio jack, so there will be 2 audio in 1 and audio in 2 here. So the way how to set up the reflection is exactly the same as Q8. We just click on the desired box here. Please note, same as Q8, one input can be mapped to multiple outputs, but one output can only be mapped to one input. Different icons represent different meanings. A check mark indicates full mapping, and the hollow circle indicates partial mapping. And all along-way audio channels are limited to 2 channels. The P20 also supports interface grouping now, similar to the Q8. Here's a common scenario. Imagine you are hosting a meeting using the P20 as the signal processing device. There are 2 people on the screen, and you want to activate advanced features by placing them both on the main layers. Previously, this was impossible because it exceeded the P20's main layer capacity. But now, the P20 can switch mode to a 4-min 4-pip layers mode. Let me give you a live demonstration of this. If you want to switch the layer mode, go to the device menu. Here, find the layers option. You will see there's another 4-min 4-pip layers option. And if you click on it, it will show you this warning. Click yes, and then it will just switch the mode. Please note, the device will reboot after switching modes, so save all your work before you're making this change. The input source backup feature on the P20 works the same as on the Q8, except that the crop backup is not supported. I'll show you a demonstration of this. The input source backup feature works exactly the same as Q8, except for it doesn't support input crop backup. Nodes are exactly the same as Q8. Well, our P20 now supports our EP series fiber extender just like the Q8. That's all the new features for P20. Now let's take a look at the U5 and U5 Pro. To enhance user convenience, we've added a keyboard shortcut feature. You can now perform basic operations like changing the layer positions by pressing the corresponding keys. Let me do you a live demonstration. First, select the layer you want to adjust. And then press the arrow key on the keyboard. You can use Also, for improved clarity, input source backup status is now displayed on both the event controller key and playback interface. Let me show you a demonstration of this. I have already set up a backup relationship for input 1.1 and input 1.2. I use input 1.2 to backup for input 1.1. And now I'm using the primary source, input 1.1. As you can see, it's just normal status. But if I switch the source to input 1.2, you can see here there's a backup indicating that input 1.1 is using the backup source. Okay, that's all the new features for U5 and U5 Pro. Now let's go to our last part, the software optimization. We have enhanced system responsiveness and software stability during screen configuration and editing. We have optimized layer performance within the configuration interface, ensuring smoother operation and faster adjustments. You can also now use BitFocus Companion on our event controller to manage various devices. Let me show you a demonstration of this feature. First, you want to press these two keys to activate the companion button. Then this companion button will be shown here. But please make sure that the NVR and KeyVM are not activated. You press this button here. A window will pop out. And here you can set the connection for the companion. In this case, we are controlling Q8. So we search for Q8. Press Add. And here we want to input the right IP address. Select the right model and press Save. Okay, now the connection has been built. We can also assign buttons. I go to the buttons and presets here. If I want to assign this take here, I just drag it here. And then this take is on the event controller. If we press it, it will do the take option for us, just like the Stream Deck color white. But we've resolved that. It now works perfectly with white color as well. Now let me give you a demonstration of this. To use the DS key feature, click on the input interface and go to the DS key menu. Turn on this option, switch it to smart mode, and change the color to white. Apply. And then the white color will be keyed out. That's all for the version 1.6 update. Next, let's welcome my colleague Feng Wang to introduce the EP series fiber extender. Let's welcome him.
Hello guys, it's Finn here. It's very glad to see you guys again. And this is an introduction for new product in the new firmware version 1.2 releasement. In the next 10 minutes, I will introduce the new product EP series to you guys. And you will learn hardware information, applications, and advantage, and hardware information about this product. So the first part is the product introduction. So the first thing, let's check the hardware in here. So EP series is the first 4-channel fiber extender in the industry. And you can see here is the 4 HDMI 2.0 input. It's actually real 4K. We can do transmissions in 4K, 2K, 60 Hz, RGB 444 8-bit. And here is the optical output part. And you may notice we use the optical modules. It's because the optical in here can be changeable. So we are capable with the single mode and multi-mode fiber modules. So which means you can change the optical modules according to your on-site applications. So if you're using single mode, the transmission distance is like 3 kilometers. And if you are using multi-mode, then it's like 300 meters. And also like the product is very easy to use. So it's like plug and play. You don't need to set anything extra. And the applications about this product, so the recommended applications is the live production or control room. So for me, I think you can use this product for any applications that require signal long distance transmission. So then let's check the hardware in here. And yeah, here is the 4 HDMI input. Here is the optical output. And here is the USB-C port. This one is actually used for the KVM signal feedback to the computers. And then the next page is the RX. It's actually like some small function here, but it's actually used for update and copy. Some small function here, but it's actually used for update and copy functions. And then copy functions. And then then the last one is the KVM roaming function. And also one is the KVM roaming function. And also like I know like one server in here, then output through this. There will be no signal split. And then the third one is application. The application is very easy. We only have 3 different applications: standalone and using in pair. So we use like if you have Pixelhue switcher system, actually you just need to use the RX. And also we add some like advantage in here. We all know like for standard HDMI 2.0, the bandwidth is 8 gigabit. And in here, we are doing like uncompression signal transmission, really uncompression. In here, we use 2 optical modules to transfer signal in here. And then the system will like combine signal here. You will get the final HDMI output. It's ideal for like if you're using projectors or if you want to like give the signals to the big LCD walls or TV things, like far away. Then you can just use this. And then it's the TX standalone. If you are using Northstar product like H series, VX series, or M Control 4K, if you want to transfer the signal in long distance, you can just use the TX as well. So for TX, it's the same. We're doing uncompression signal transmission. It's the same. Like with this, you can transfer 2-channel real frequency signals in the control system. So like, let me do a like simply explanation. So for example, here is H1 HDMI 2.0.
Hi everyone, I'm Hailiang, a pre-sale and representative from the Pixelhue team. Thank you for joining our live stream today. And I'm sure you have already have many questions and we are ready to answer them in the upcoming Q&A session. But first, I would like to introduce my team members. So this is our R&D team product manager, Vincent.
Hi, I'm Vincent, the product manager of Pixelhue. Nice to see you guys.
And this is our account manager, Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl, the sales manager in North American team, and I will answer the sales-related question in this session.
Okay, so last is my colleague Brad.
Welcome to our channel, everybody. I'm Brad, the solution engineer from Pixelhue. Today, I'm happy to have this conversation with all you guys. Hopefully, we will enjoy the time.
So let's start the Q&A session now. We have already recorded some of your questions and I will go through them now. So the first one is understand how Pixelhue works. Actually, you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are many tutorial videos on it. And you can also, and we are holding like PMA events globally. You can check out our Facebook community or WhatsApp group to see the latest news about the PMA and register for them. And someone asked about the device warranty and the P20 Q8 subcard issue. Carl, could you answer this question for us?
Yeah, so the Q8, including the doctor cards, comes with a 5-year warranty. And while others like P20 or U5 has 3 years warranty. So for more details, you can contact our distributor locally.
Next, so it's complementary for all Novastar portfolio. So currently, the devices that support a fiber optic remote transmission solution include the VX series, H series, MX30, MX40, M-Control 4K, etc. Now there is also EP4, the EP4 product to expand your solution. And someone asked about the local repair issue. So Carl, could you answer this for us?
So currently we are working on the localized repairment and service, and hopefully we can get it done in the Q3. And we are also deploying the Lunar unit for the rapid on-site support.
And so someone commented that, loving the switcher. Can the companion plugin be updated without the firmware? I've seen companion updates come faster than the firmware updates. Thanks. So, Brett, could you answer this question for us?
Yeah, sure. Currently, right now, we already make the companion software version 1.1 natively. And later, we will have the upgrade entrance on our software. And when we have some update of companions, we will republic it, and you can update by yourself.
Okay. And next one, I believe this is an important question about the American tariff problems. So, Carl, please.
Yeah, so first of all, we all know the tariff changes every day. So we have no certain number how much the tariff is going to be charged. So if you contact our local distributor, and the local distributor has the inventory, and the inventory was purchased before the new tariff rates, so it's going to be no tariff. But if you have to get the product from Pixelhue headquarters and shipped from overseas, that means the tariff can be applied. So as for the rate for the tariff, it depends on how actually be charged by the US customers.
And recently I heard the President Trump will deduct the tariff.
Yeah,
so
I hope so.
It's changing. Yeah.
That's good news.
So next question from the Brian. So he asked, still he commented still on the fence.
Happy to see you again, Brian. If you have any concerns at this moment, I can contact you later, and we can talk about what make you holding back.
So, and we have a question about the localized the product, the restore. So, Carl, could you answer this for us?
Yeah, so we sell Pixelhue products through our distributors. So we recommend you contact our distributor for the inventory info, and you can contact us for the distributor info at info@pixelhue.com.
So another question from Tom. Is there an upgrade path for the P20 to the SDI version? Brett, please.
Yeah, of course. Right now we have two options available. One is P20, another is P20-DS versions. And you can replace the P20 with P20-DS and vice versa.
And next, from Brian O'Neill. So he asked that, so what does the roadmap to 8K look like for current owners? Is the hardware capable with the right cards installed to support native 3320p signals over a single connection? Well, Pixelhue look at making an external ST2110 converter box. Actually, we are
planning.
Right.
Thanks for attention.
So next question. So what was that new output card? So actually we have released a new DP output card for the Q8, and if you would like to know more information, we could send you an email after this live stream and talk about the detailed information. And next question. I see on P20 there's a new layer option. Yes. So now you can switch mode between the two main layer and the 4-main layer mode.
Yeah.
So the difference is that there are two more main layers on the 4-main layer mode.
Yes, because
what's the major difference between the two minus dented? Actually, so for the P20-DS there will be an SDI output interface, but we don't have that.
Okay.